Yo, 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 what's poppin'? All my peeps. It is I, your host of the most Renaissance man who always thinks he can, and your champion of the peeps, Patty Pitts, back once again in the yard streams for another edition of the Raw Rewind, part of Pitts and Sara's wrestling show, where we take no nights off. And it's not just me, Patty P, here in the yard streams. I am joined, as always, by the best of the West. You can't forget about Sarah Marshall. Was popping, girl.
Hey, yo.
Hello.
Hola.
Hello.
Que paso? What's going on? How we doing?
We're doing.
We're just doing.
We're doing.
We're not having a nonsensical, terrific day.
I was just gonna do an LL Cool J reference, but I don't think you would get it.
Try me.
When
My brothers are 42.
doing it well.
40.
Remember the song?
Doing it and doing it.
Yeah,
and
I was
doing
gonna
it
say,
well.
but then it's
We're
like
doing it, we're
semi
doing it, we're doing it.
inappropriate. You know.
This is wrestling. It's the lines are blurred when it comes to appropriateness. As
Yeah,
always.
I suppose.
That's what happens when you deal with the nonsense. Wrestling is nonsense. And as you see,
4 letters, one word. Stop.
Mood. Hey, we might be getting to that point. According to Raw. You never know. They kind of teased it. They kind of teased it.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 100,
Okay,
yeah.
Catch up with me, brother.
Sorry. I'm still sorry. I still got nonsense in my head because Roy, Sarah, has made a mandate that anytime we go live on the show, we have to have the Nonsense Sports Network going on at the same time. I don't know why. It's his rule, but it's on to keep up with the nonsense. All right, today we got baseball, and maybe soon we got wrestling. Update on Thursday for the whole nonsense there.
Alrighty, alrighty.
We got Thursday. Oh, you know what? I'll give you a little taste now before we say hi to the peeps. So remember how you just took my title and I have no champion on my show?
Mm-hmm.
You in corporate.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to come up with a tournament. They gave me no requirement, no nothing. No place to start. That's what I'm looking for. So I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to do what my brain tells me. So we're having just, I don't care how long it takes, qualifier. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16 spots.
Okay.
All right, 16 spot tournament. And I don't discriminate between nonsense and humans, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Or wrestlers, whatever. So everyone's in it. And because, what's the word? There's going to be qualifying matches throughout the next 4 weeks, however long it takes to fill it. But here's the thing. You don't know what match is a qualifying match. All right. It's only decided that day. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the card from the nonsense execs. They tell me what they have lined up. If I don't like a match, or I think their match is just basically filler, well, that's a qualifying match for me. All right. So far, we've had some pretty good matches, not going to lie. And the matches make the show flow pretty well. Because our first qualifier was AJ Styles. How did he win that? In a parking lot brawl. We started the show right from the parking lot, Sarah. Everyone's fighting for a chance at the NWF championship.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't discriminate. I said we don't discriminate. Men or women can win it. I don't care. Just fucking represent my show. I don't care what you are. All right? We had Chelsea Green fighting for it. AJ Styles did end up qualifying. He beat the shit out of Lava Girl. I don't know why, but
you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
You just gotta do. Chelsea Green and her were getting into it. Abyss was in it, crazy. Then Randy Orton qualified by, I think we got a little bit of a heel turn coming because he beat up Captain Underpants like before the bell even rang to the like outside the ring, whatnot. Bell rings, RKO 1, 2, 3. So Randy Orton qualified, and then obviously I have to have my hand in the mix. We had a triple threat match in the main event.
Okay.
We had, I'm going to call her Nixon Newell. All right. That's WWE term. That's corporate's term for her. She's Nixon Newell. She's on our brand. Her, Eddie Guerrero.
Nice.
Viva La Raza.
Yeah.
And then Captain Nonsense himself.
Okay.
So guess who won?
Captain Nonsense.
Damn right he did.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking went over.
All right.
My damn guy did it. So yeah, now we have, that was 3 spots of 16. We have 13 spots left. And yeah, because we don't have, because whatever. I'll let you know how many spots are filled up by the time we get to Thursday, Sarah.
All right.
Because your show's next, and it honestly, in all seriousness, it really just looks like a fan made Raw, like just a WWE fan booked Raw. Like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk are all feuding. You have Karrion Kross and Dominic Mysterio facing off for some weird reason.
Okay.
Sami Zayn's still in the mix, like craziness.
Boring.
Anyway,
Zayn.
Yeah, he's not on the show much, and you're welcome for that. So, anyways, that's enough nonsense talk. Let's hear from the peeps. Let's hear from the peeps that come and watch us week in and week out. Nathaniel, Pimpette, and Sarah. Disappointing our Patriots yesterday, but hopefully we beat Miami Sunday. Yeah, that'd be nice. And my Yankees win the World Series. No, see, that's where you're wrong. The Yankees will.
Nah, man.
All right, they're not gonna win.
I can't agree with the Yankees. Sorry, can't do it.
You know what? Screw. We'll ask you too. Do we think she becomes champion?
I would assume eventually she becomes a champion.
Yeah.
But what champion or how long or when, I don't know.
I think it just makes sense for her to be champion.
It also, the thing is it's like, oh, she signed a contract, so she's back like full time. We don't know what that means still. Could be a 6-month contract, could be 3-month contract, could be a year. We have no idea. We really don't. I mean, I haven't seen anything about the timeline. So it's hard to say, like, what is she going to do in this run? Because we don't know how long it is. It could be a multi-year. We have no idea. So it's kind of hard to predict, like, what she might do, Yeah.
No, we have no idea. I mean, we have no idea right now. Sophia, it was really great seeing you too at the gym. I love when I see the peeps out in public. If you ever see me out in public, whoever's watching, be like Sophia, come up and say hi. I don't care. Just don't be a dick. That's all I ask. Don't be a dick. And take a selfie. I don't care. I don't care. I'm just happy everybody's happy. And oh shit, no, I want to go back to that because her friend Brittany was at the Pro Wrestling Super Show. Sorry, that shit was so fun. I'm sorry. That was one of the most fun wrestling shows I've ever been to. Quick story. So Anthony Green and Channing Thomas are tag teaming against Waves and Curls. Waves and Curls was this bright, uppity tag team that came out to Whitney Houston. They were awesome. And then they turned heel. Actually, like, someone quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure BRG was part of their heel turn, which incredible. And they don't wear the bright colors anymore. It's all black. They come out to a completely new theme that's really just hard and heelish, So they're facing AG and Channing Thomas. They come out first. I'm messing around with the big guy, who, fun fact, wears Facebook suggested friends. Hilarious. Then who comes out next? AG and Channing. Channing comes out to the whatever song entrance they planned, but AG's like, no, we're not. That's the wrong song. It's like, what do you mean? That's our song. Pulls him back, and then Waves and Curls old theme, Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody comes on. It was on my story on Instagram. I lost it. I love when that shit happens. Like when you play a rib, like on the guys out. That's probably one of my favorite like things in wrestling. A little nuances like that. And I was singing along. Oh, I think I lost my voice by the end of that match. And I mean, after that, we still had Dijak.
Mm-hmm.
Which Dijak in person, it's a big motherfucker. He is so big. So nice though. Look actually, we was talking cards. I didn't even mention this. Tell you this. Showed this. I got, oh shit, wrong camera. So, do you know that guy?
Didn't you say it was Dijak? Yeah.
No. I knew that, but no. Do you know the other guy?
I can't really see, so no.
Okay. Baron Corbin, who now goes by
Oh.
Bishop Dyer.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are MLW Tag Team Champs. So I got that card from him. And hopefully maybe one day I can get it from Bishop Dyer. Tom, in the real world. Maybe you can stop by the yard. Spend some no nights off with us. What's up, David, to you? The bad guy is here. Dickie, you're right. Raw was fun. Raw was a fun show. Like, I can't wait to talk about it because it was a fun show. Like, it didn't feel like it dragged. I don't know. Everything felt like it was the right amount of time. I will say it's getting really fucking annoying with these segments happening during commercials. I'm getting real sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, WrestlePalooza should be, or maybe it was, I read that wrong. Is it true it would draw heat if Asuka kayfabe injury Stephanie and Asuka end up facing EO, then turns heel in the match and beat EO?
Can't do that. Stephanie earned that match.
Well, no, she's saying like, yeah, she earned the match, but also Asuka.
WWE's not going to do that to her. That would be fucked.
It would be fucked.
And it completely disregards the whole competition for, getting that spot.
I would not like to see it. I think you can get to EO Asuka in a better way.
It already seems like EO is winning the title. So we'll talk about that.
That's the story. That's the story that they're going.
Which again is fucked, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. And
oopsie.
I love Stephanie Beckor. So all right, we're already teasing Raw, Sarah. We're already teasing Raw. Kick us off.
Yes. So the Usos kicked off Raw, and this was their kind of like, well, it was their first reunion-ish kind of, and it was such a missed opportunity, I feel like, for them to come out to their version of that song. Like, Jay, why couldn't you have put away the "It's Just Me" Us for 1 week? Why did Jimmy have to come out? I did
find that weird.
I know, because the thing is like,
I find that weird.
The song is the same. It just doesn't say "It's Just Me." You know what I mean? The lyrics are changed, but it's the exact same song. So you very easily could have just come out to that, and people would have still been eating. Nobody, like, it wouldn't have changed anything. So I was like, that was a missed opportunity, because friggin' poor Jimmy is just like third wheeling it, basically. So like,
he felt he was third wheeling the entire show.
But it seems like they're teasing this whole thing. Down since day one is CFOs. Interesting. Well, I don't know. It's their voice though. It's the Usos. So that feels kind of weird. But anyway,
they could still do it. Yeah.
We got confirmation of the match that they will have at WrestlePalooza, where it will be the Usos versus the Bronsons. So we do know that the Usos are going to reunite at least for one match. But I would say I want to just like couple everything that we saw with the Usos in just at the beginning, because it's like they were definitely a constant storyline throughout the entire show. Mm-hmm. But it seems like they were on the same page. I mean, Jay is the one who said to Jimmy last week, like, hey, I need you, because obviously he keeps getting his ass beat every single week by the Vision. Mm-hmm. And then it seems like he's just like not that interested in chilling with Jimmy. And by the end of the show, when Jimmy comes out to help LA Knight because he's like, you know what, I don't want to see my boy get beaten up. Okay. Jay comes out and he eventually super kicks LA Knight. So after they already had this discussion of like, hey, our common enemy is the Vision right now. We can help LA Knight. It doesn't matter if you're not like into helping him. We have the same enemy. So Jay super kicking LA Knight in the mouth
He's
doesn't
right in the
really it. So this is the thing. It's like it's so interesting to like tease a Jay heel turn because obviously putting Jay and LA Knight against each other is not a good idea because they're kind of like on the same level as far as like how over they are with the crowd. I mean, obviously you can argue Jay's more over, but as far as like crowd participation and like people being excited to see them, they're very much on the same level. So you don't want to put them against each other unless you really do plan on turning one because like there's no reason to pit two of your biggest baby faces against each other unless there's some sort of reason for it. And there is some reason, but
Yeah, do you see the reason?
yes, I get it. But what I mean is
Okay.
it's like it's still questionable because like I'm not a big fan of Jey Uso, but obviously the crowd loves him. So
Mhm.
turning him seems weird to me. It also feels kind of weird to have this whole thing of the Usos reuniting only for you to walk that back or like make that questionable. People were saying maybe he's getting rid of the yeet stuff. I feel like why would you though? Like as annoying as I find it, the only reason why Jey Uso is basically in this position is because of the yeet stuff. It's
We'll
because
see if he is. That's it. Yeah. But
it
that's where I think
because
the heel turn works right now.
maybe, but like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I find it interesting. Richard thinks that he'll turn heel after Palooza, but that's the thing. But like, what's the goal? Like, what's he doing? Why is he turning heel? Is it all just going to come back to like I lost the title? Like, what
I feel
is
like
it?
the heel turn would more be that the crowd only treats him like a one-trick pony.
But did you
All he
notice how
does is yeet.
But did you notice this will work if he doesn't do the stuff that he was doing backstage when he was talking to Jimmy. Jimmy's trying to have like a legitimate conversation with him as he looks like he's about to leave. And he's like, where are you going? Like, we have to be here for LA Knight. And did you notice how he like pauses his sentences so that the audience can yeet? Like he's not, if it's like,
I
that
don't think
can't,
it.
that
Okay.
can't be a thing, right? That can't be a thing right now. Like you can't say that you're tired of it when you're feeding into it and you're asking them to do it. You know what I mean?
I don't think
So
that's the reason
that's why
that he
he did it.
stops.
Go
I think
watch
it's
it.
just
Go watch. No, it's like when you're encouraging the what chants, like you purposely pause in your sentences.
no. I know. Yeah.
That's what he was doing with
Sometimes you
the yeet.
don't.
So I don't know. It will be interesting if that's the direction that they go in because I feel like it's a missed opportunity for them to reunite the Usos and have that be a group because I think that the Raw tag division definitely needs them.
They absolutely need.
And I don't know. I feel like Jay turning heel, it might be more interesting because I think he's definitely better as a heel. I don't enjoy him as a baby face. I just think he's annoying. But I don't know. Like if it just feels like something we wouldn't see again because he felt like he was an untouchable character at this point. You know, I mean, they allow him to take 5 minutes to do an entrance and then they play it back. And like, you know, it's like that's not stuff that they just let anybody do, but they do it with Jay. So it's like, okay, yeah, he's like in untouchable territory at this point, you know?
Exactly.
He's already a heel to you. Yeah. Because I fucking hate
No,
him.
because she doesn't like him. That's why.
It's funny. My nephew loves him. Obviously, it's mostly because the yeet. I feel like if he didn't have the yeet thing, he like wouldn't be that interested. You know, because like that's just how kids are. Like they do one thing or they say something funny, and it's like I love him.
That's it.
But he was saying to me yesterday, he's like, "Well, I still like Jay. Like even if he becomes a bad guy, I still like him." And I was like, "That's okay." And he's like, "I know.
That's your dog.
I'm just letting you know." And I was like, "That's okay."
That's all right, buddy.
I thought it was funny. I was like, "That's fine. You can like whoever you want, bud." Like
that's the beauty of wrestling, man.
I was like, "He's just not my favorite." you know? But anyway, I just thought that was funny. I was like, he's so cute. He does like John Cena again, by the way, because John Cena's a good guy again. So he's like, John Cena's okay, in my
John
opinion.
Cena's, yeah, he's okay.
And I was like, that's right, kid. Except for now he likes Roman, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, where did this come from? You're betraying me. But anyway, since you already mentioned this earlier about how we hate that WWE does this stuff, this is why people started saying that it felt like this was going to be another episode of WWE Unreal. That's why I said it was an Unreal promo, because people were like, oh, since we didn't see it, and it felt kind of rooted in reality because of all these reports coming out about AJ Styles' contract being up in February, that he was allegedly putting feelers out there for, like other wrestling promotions or the indies, whatever. All of this stuff is coming out at the same time, so it feels like, okay. And then he's in the ring talking about people are out to get him and they don't want him here and whatever. And I'm like, this could have been like such intriguing storyline development for him, especially with how things have been going for him over the past month or two, with getting screwed over by Dominic and El Grande Americano and all this. Like, why are we not exploring that further by allowing everybody to see what he had to say?
Yeah, I felt like that was, okay. I'm not going to talk about that. I want to pose the question that it felt like WWE has been seeing like exactly what you're saying, but more so not just this specifically, but the Penta too. Like, I feel like they're using that to spearhead new things. And there may be not a lot for AJ to do right now with, work one-on-one specifically with someone or one-on-one with a group. But it feels like they know they need to keep AJ relevant and understand that he probably has some frustrations of his own, of why he was left off certain cards, why is he getting beat by Dom Mysterio. And it feels that a lot, kind of the Unreal, but more just like, fuck it, let's try something new, let's get the internet talking. One thing Triple H knows, what he knows better than anyone in that company, I feel like, is what the internet is going to talk about. And he doesn't care if it's bad or good. He just knows that if they're talking about it, we're doing well.
I feel like that's kind of the way to approach how things are now, because we've talked so much about how it's difficult to have any sort of surprise in WWE anymore, and it's really hard to create any sort of like legitimate heel because wrestlers are so available to people all the time, and now they're not expected to be their on-screen character 24/7. So that's how, like, there's a reason why Seth Rollins is cheered for as much as he is, even though people are then cheering for CM Punk when he comes out 2 seconds later, and it's because you get to know them on a personal level. And now that there are so many dirt sheets and so many rumors, it's like it is very hard to have any sort of surprise or get people actually interested in things, or to try and like pull the wool over our eyes and buy into a fake storyline in in the company, because we know what's really going on outside of the company. So it feels like it makes sense for them to incorporate real life stuff into what they're trying to do, that's fictional, because then it blurs the lines a lot more to even the like smartest fan, like we're talking about all this stuff that's allegedly going on with AJ Styles in the contract and how he's possibly leaving in 6 months and whatever. And so the fact that they then have him cut a promo where he's kind of alluding to something going on, or like he's not happy or someone's out to get him, whatever, it does make you kind of sit there and be like, wait a second, is he leaving? Like, is this, because then it kind of brings you back, at least for me, it's like at the time you didn't really realize how legitimate the pipe bomb was, like you knew it was like a monumental moment like because
at
of
core.
Yeah, like you knew it was going to be a big moment and something that you were going to remember, but you didn't realize the magnitude of of that moment of what he
Mhm.
was saying and how much of it would eventually be proven true or accurate,
Yeah,
whatever.
it's crazy.
And
Like,
so,
it's
you know, kind of trying to lean into stuff like that and take advantage of, like, is it real? Is it not real? Like, is there real drama? Is there not? Like, trying to get more into that, I think, is smart. You kind of have to do that, like I said,
that's how we're
because of
doing
how
it.
available this information is to us now. And it's like a double-edged sword. I think I've
It is.
mentioned it before, where you want to know these things, right? Like, you want to know some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes and whatever, but like, it does sometimes take the fun out of it because you're not
It
often
does.
surprised. Like, sometimes I just want to watch what I see on TV and like not think about anything else, but
Yeah.
like, that's not how my brain
That's
works. And
yeah, that's not how wrestling. That's not how your brain works. Not how my brain works. Not how
yeah.
wrestling
Well,
fans'
and
brains
then
works.
obviously, like, all you have to
Most
do is
part.
look up wrestling on the internet, and it's like, if you're trying to avoid spoilers or predictions or whatever, or, you know, any sort of behind the scenes information, it's almost impossible to avoid it.
You
So,
can't.
yeah.
You friggin' can't avoid spoilers anymore. I walked out of that wrestling show on Friday night, not looking at my phone
Mhm.
on for Twitter, Instagram, or any of the social media apps. And as
Mhm.
soon as I got up from my chair and was walking out the door, I heard some woman just yell, "Oh, AJ Lee's
Oh,
back!"
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
I know. I
I
was
knew
like,
it was coming, but like,
yeah.
I kind of want like the mystique.
No, I get it. I know.
And
Well,
it's
that's why it's
like
like, I was checking SmackDown as it was happening because obviously I can't see it live.
you're not
And it
gonna
was
see it
like,
live, and yeah.
yeah, and so I was, like, saying to my sister, I was like, "I'm gonna keep checking Twitter because we know it's happening tonight, and might as well just try and see it, like, as it's happening," because, like, I am not going to stay off social media. I know that I won't. So it's gonna be spoiled for me anyway. So yeah, I was like, I was gonna text you about it, and then I was like, "No, he's at the show, I won't spoil it," and I was like, "I'm sure it's probably already spoiled, but I don't wanna be the one to do it." So,
Yeah.
um the last truly shocking moment was The Rock's return in 2011. Um, yeah,
No,
but it was so much but see, okay, that might not be the most shocking moment for you, but we're talking about 2011. That was 14 years ago. It was a lot more difficult for us to figure things out cuz like dirt sheets have existed for a long time, we know that, but there weren't as many, and there weren't so many people that now had connections behind the curtain. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who aren't even affiliated with a dirt sheet website that are breaking news or you know, releasing rumors on Twitter, for
you can
instance. And
be
it's like,
friggin' anyone and
yeah.
break. It's crazy.
Um so we do have the comments like popping up on the screen, which I like, but I want to make sure that we get to some of them. Um I assume that you believe that we're seeing two belt Dom on Friday.
Yeah, someone said that we got two belt pits here, and I just want to say thank you
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
for finally acknowledging that I am the fucking double champ. Old new school, old school. I do both. Expos, old school, CM Punk, new school. The greatest combination of both. Thank you, bad guy. Sarah,
Um
continue. Sorry.
Fresh Fly said his favorite return is CM Punk in 2023.
What
Um
about Sarah, the Hardys? That's the
that one
one that pops up every time of the most
was
recent
that
in my eyes.
2018? 2018?
No, 16
Really?
or 17 because
Hold on.
I was watching it. I was at least only a sophomore. Yeah, I was a sophomore in
2017.
college. Yes, I
2017.
was a sophomore in college because we watched it at my buddy's house who was a senior, and I I reacted like I was a child again. I was jumping up and down in the seat. I broke a chair and really didn't care. Like, really didn't. I was like, fuck it. What? It was Walmart, $10. Like, it was that, like, monumental.
I don't remember. Like, I know I was excited about that, and I think I was just more in shock. Like, I wasn't like super excited. I mean, I liked the Hardys, but I was more of a Jeff Hardy person than a Matt Hardy person. Um, I don't remember the last time though that I was like giddy about a return. Like I don't remember.
Return. Well, I almost said AJ Styles, but that was debut. I'm trying to think.
I can't remember. That's kind of sad. Fresh Fly also wants to know what our favorite AJ Lee match is. I couldn't tell you. That's nothing against her, but I don't know that I have one. I would have to like actually go back. Like the crazy thing is she was around for 5 years before she left.
But like,
That's it.
look how much like how historic her run was.
No, I know. And that's
And
what's
what, like, her
crazy
influence.
to think about how she was around for such a short period of time.
It's crazy.
You know, like you don't realize that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, she's been gone for 10 years. Yeah, and she was only around for like 5. You know, it's just like, wow. How did I feel about Stone Cold? I kind of felt like that was going to happen. So that's why it was like, I mean, I felt like there's no way they were having Kevin Owens sit at Mania and call out Stone Cold and they weren't going to do it. You know what I mean? So it was like that wasn't as I don't know, exciting. I mean, I know that I freaked the fuck out in 2008 when John Cena returned at the Rumble, but like that was so long ago. I was trying to think of something like more recent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I don't know. I would have to really think about it, which is sad. But I mean, I guess in a way that's a good thing. Like a lot of my favorites have not left, I guess. I don't
That's
know.
true.
But speaking of the women, we definitely got to see Lyra return finally to TV. And she got to face Raquel Rodriguez, of course, because if you're giving her the choice between putting her against Roxanne or Raquel, they're obviously going to give her the tougher one. And it was solid. I mean, I think Raquel is still killing it. Lyra is incredible. So I'm just glad that she's on TV. The Chicago crowd was great to her. And I was happy for her to get that kind of reaction, because obviously the whole point of her working with Becky was to get her more over with the crowd. And even though I'm bummed that the storyline hasn't continued the way that we thought it was going to, because we thought that she was inevitably going to become the champion again. I want to see that payoff continue for her, because I think she deserves it. So I was happy to see that the crowd was still into her. And now we know, because of Roxanne's involvement, we do get to see Lyra versus Roxanne next week. So that's fire.
A lot of people have been, and we've been saying that she's worked bigger, and she has, but I couldn't really put my like finger on it, like specifically, like what moves, like whatever. And there was one moment where she had her up, like, you know, like she was gonna do a World's Strongest Slam, and she the knees up and just hitting like that. It's moves like that that are so simple that just make you look dominant.
You know what I also thought was that spot on the turnbuckle when Lyra was literally like upside down, and it was because she like could not get her to over her head to like, you know, slam her. You know what I'm saying? Do you remember that spot?
I'm sorry.
I said when Lyra was like literally upside down because she was trying to use the momentum of her body to flip Raquel. I thought that was so good, because I think that when you have like a size discrepancy between competitors like that, you don't see it often with the women, where the smaller woman sells the other woman being bigger. Like we don't really see that, because they try to make it be like, oh, they're on equal ground, and that's fine. But that was like, okay, we're really buying into Raquel is, you know, 6 foot tall, whatever she is. Like she's a bigger girl. She's strong. Beast. Yeah. And Lyra's a tiny little fairy girl. You know what I mean? Like she shouldn't be able to just, you know, flip Raquel over as easy as they have done in the past. So I really liked that, because I don't feel like they do that much with the women, but they will with the men. You know, it's like, obviously, you can't slam Bronson Reed or Mark Henry or the Big Show, but like you don't see that with the women. So I thought that was really cool. And yeah, so then we'll see a little bit more of an equal matchup next week with Lyra and Roxanne, which I think is exciting. So yeah, at least we're seeing Lyra on TV. And then I guess we can just talk about this too. It happened a little bit later in the show, but it definitely ties in. And it seems like obviously they're still going with this Bailey Lyra stuff. Well, the Bailey going cuckoo, I am so into it.
I love it. I keep going.
It
Keep
is so good that they're kind of like, it's so hard to say what they're trying to do because you could argue that it's multiple personalities, but I really feel like it's just an inner struggle of I guess I wrote here of like trying to figure out who she really is. And you know, am I that fun, lovable, I'm just happy to be here girl that was Bailey the hugger, or am I this like sassy heel, you know, like the ding dong hello or like damage control version? Like, who am I? And so I find it really fascinating. And they have her mention Lyra. And they haven't really done a whole lot with that on her Bailey side. It's been more so about Lyra being like, I'm concerned and like I don't know if I should reach out. So I like that they're connecting the dots here. And I'm wondering where this is gonna go. So like, as fascinated as I am with whatever character development they're having with Bailey, it's making me more interested in where this is going to go. Like, how is she going to return? What's that going to look like? How is she going to behave when she's in front of us and it's not a video? Because obviously when it's a video, you see and you hear all the thoughts in her head, but you're not going to see that, you know, like in live action. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to go about that.
I'm curious to see what that first interaction with Lyra or whoever backstage is going to be with Bailey. Like, what are we going to see with the switch? Like, which Bailey are we going to get?
Yeah. Oh my God. I would love it. Well, who's done that before where it was like every week they came out to it was, or there was times where it was like they came out to a different era of themselves. I feel like we've seen that before, but it would be so funny if she returns and it's the Bailey hugger music. And then like the next week, it's like damage control era or whatever. You know what I mean?
She can't figure it out.
Yeah. Like that would be so fun. Oh my God. Imagine the crowd reaction to the Bailey buddies.
And I genuinely think the crowd would pop immensely. Like that, they would blow the roof off that place. If you said, there ain't no stopping us now. Celebrate on the floor.
And you know what's funny? It's like when she's talked about how she needed to kind of evolve that character because when she created it, she was a younger girl and it was very reflective of who she was at that time. And obviously you don't want to continue that forever because like you grow and you're getting better. You want to be taken more seriously. So it made sense that she wanted to move on. But I think that it's fun also to kind of like re-explore those moments in your career because that is how people fell in love with you in the first place. And I feel like this would be a good reminder to her of not just of how far she's come, but of like how much people genuinely love her. You know what I mean? Because it feels like part of this whole character that she's doing right now is like kind of it going back to being held off Mania and feeling like she was being overlooked or she wasn't important or people don't really consider her when they're talking about like the 4 horsewomen. It's like, oh, they kind of forget about Bailey. And so it feels like that would be kind of a cool moment for her. You know, where there aren't that many people that can go back to a previous character of their career and people would be that fucking bonkers for it. You know, like
no, they wouldn't. Yeah.
It's not like if Becky came out to her Irish lass music and she's doing like kick dance, like they're not gonna care, you know. But like with Bailey, no, they're gonna freak out if the Bailey buddies are there and whatever. She doesn't even have to do like the side ponytail or anything. The fact that those are there, like people would freak
you don't
out.
need to do that. You just need the Bailey buddies and the music. You don't need to go the whole gimmick, or maybe you do.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't need it. I just need the music.
But the fact that it's a possibility is fun enough, you know, like we don't know what we're going to get from this version of Bailey, which makes it far more intriguing. Even if, like what Richard said, it feels like it has been going on for a long time, these videos and whatever, like we want to see the payoff, but it feels like there's a reason because of the AJ return and because of the WrestlePalooza stuff. Like it feels like they've been keeping her off TV because They're like, okay, well, you're not going to be involved in these things, so like,
Yeah,
I
no,
guess that's why. But
it's okay to have them be off TV if they're not doing anything.
yeah,
Like, if you're building for something, sure, then I don't mind not seeing them for a few months.
yeah.
But if you're just keeping them off TV and they come back and it's just shit, then like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's on you.
All right, moving on to
Why you don't love Spenta? Why you don't love Spenta?
I ask myself this question. I every week. Why you don't,
You know La Penta?
why you
Why
don't
you
love
know La
Penta?
Penta?
We've been talking about this for a while. Specifically me, I've brought it up because I was like, you know what? What are they doing with Penta? Penta, you know, as much as I love to see you with the War Raiders, because hey, we stand the War Raiders here. I don't want to see that. Okay, I don't want to see that anymore. As great as it was, you know, you guys were in a match together and you have this alliance, and they were pretending like they understood anything he said to them last
Mhm.
night.
No, he was nothing was
Fantastic.
getting through.
But I think this was it. This was one of those moments like what we talked about earlier, where it felt like they were bringing in what people have been saying online into the WWE universe, because people have been like, where's Penta? What is he doing? WWE hates him. Like, he was on this run at the beginning of the year when he first debuted, and he was like in the IC title scene, and then it's just kind of gone downhill from there. And so I love that he's just like straight to the point, like, why you don't love Penta? And it's
Why
like,
you don't love
for
Penta?
real, Adam. But it's
What
interesting
do you mean? I
because
love somebody every day.
I
Damn
know, it's
right
like,
you do, Adam Pierce.
like, yeah, but you
Damn
don't
right
love,
you do.
you don't love Penta. Yeah, I mean, people are making a point. Like, yeah, he's on TV, but it's only like what, like the last 2 weeks that he was on consistently. Before that, it was like every other week. Like, you weren't really getting him. And yeah, I don't even want to talk about
To go
We-
off of your point. Okay,
Mhm.
I want to kind of go off of this. You love Penta. We love Penta. But the
I love
crazy thing is, like, because I'm thinking like when he was in AEW, he was not built half in half of the capacity that he
Mhm.
is now, and people are complaining he's not on TV. Like, isn't that crazy?
Well, okay, but I think it's coming from a different place. You know what I mean? Like, people, it's like,
Okay.
because I don't think that the way that he's being booked or the way that he's presented changes the fact that like even if it's a lot better than it was in AEW, we have to remember that a lot of the people that are like big fans of Penta in WWE did not watch him in AEW.
No, they didn't watch that, and that's what I'm getting at. Is that
So-
they're obsessed with Penta, and I'm not calling him out for being like, well, you didn't watch him then. I'm more observing how crazy it is that you can take a guy who was beloved in just the Wrestleverse, just in wrestling,
Mhm.
and then you bring him over to WWE now, and now he's beloved by WWE fans. That
Mhm.
is a completely different fan than wrestling fans, and they're obsessed with him because of the presentation, because of the gimmick, the moves, the everything, the
Mhm.
sparklers. That's the difference of WWE. And just because he's not on TV, it's fine. It's doing stuff like this to reintroduce him is what they need to do, and have it like the interaction that they had with American Man whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's I think it just all goes back to an issue that people have with Triple H in general. It feels like and all of it gets put on Triple H, and we know that he is not the only guy that is writing Raw, SmackDown, PLEs, whatever, right? But we just say Triple H because he's like the guy, just like everybody said it about Vince. But I think it seems like right now Triple H has difficulties booking people consistently, especially people that feel like, other than in the fans' eyes, deserve it. But it's like, okay, well, this is a superstar. There's no reason you should be keeping Penta off TV. There's no reason you should be keeping Stephanie Vaquer off TV. Why is Rey Fenix not on TV or whatever, whoever it might be. Like people argue about Carmelo Hayes, whatever, right? So I think that this is just another example of that. So it's like Penta just falls into that category that people have of frustration, that it feels like there's no reason that this guy should be in the back ever. Like, even if it is just a random match with the War Raiders, like put this man on TV. And then once they are on TV, you want to see them in meaningful things, but it's also, I think, just in general that people just always want more, or like the chase is more fun than just like coasting, which is like what Richard said in the chat. Like Penta's just coasting right now, but people want more. So, I mean, it seems like they're kind of hinting at that. He brought up the IC title. He went against Rusev. So it seems like they might be involving him in that way. And I'm not mad about him potentially going after the IC title with Dom. Like, if they're not really going to do that with AJ Styles, maybe put it on Penta. Maybe AJ turns heel or something, and maybe him and Penta go at it or something. I don't know. But maybe they're trying to have AJ like in the main event scene again instead. I don't know. But I wouldn't be mad about Penta being in the mid-card scene again. At least
why not put him in the world title picture?
I mean, it just feels like
that's where my mind is. Like, I don't care that he didn't win the Intercontinental. He's still ready to face up against guys like Seth Rollins, LA Knight. Like, he can be in that caliber. He can be in that division. So why not just put him there?
Yeah.
I don't need this fluff. Because as soon as you get into the world title picture, he doesn't win it. Well, then it's okay because he's got his brother on the blue brand. And then you reunite the Lucha Brothers. Boom. There's your story for the next year or so. And
it could be worse. He could be LA Knight. So
no, stop with Julia. No. The present day,
he's doing
everything with Julia.
He is doing Julia a bit dirty, but
he's not.
Kind of. No. This what it does. No, what it is the issue is when he has somebody become a champion, he like doesn't book them well after that. It's the same thing that happened with Io Sky. I don't know maybe if it's a female thing. Is it like female driven? Because like we can talk about where the fuck is Stephanie Vaquer? Like, what are we doing? Why was she on the program every single week? Why did she win a match or a title match at a big PLE? And then you're like, oh, by the way, she's not even here for a contract signing. Like, what are we doing? It's very odd. I think that's just the kind of thing is that people are frustrated. Like I said, people are frustrated about because it's like, what are we doing? Like, what was the point? Because then she even JC Jane said something about the NXT Women's Championship on Twitter, and Stephanie answered her. I'm like, are we really putting Stephanie back in NXT?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like, well, she might be on TV every week, so if you put her there, maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but anyway, I was bummed about this, and I really do hope that it was just a travel issue or something, because they did not explain why she wasn't there. They're just like, oh, she's not here, so like this contract signing's scrapped. But I also feel like it's unfair.
That was weird.
It was weird.
I gotta say that it was.
It does feel like this makes it feel like Io is winning at WrestlePalooza, and I get it if that's it because she's the veteran in the company, she's actively involved in a storyline, but then for me it's like then you shouldn't have even made this a match, because like if you're not even going to have Stephanie on the show, or you're not going to have her have any sort of story that would make sense for her to win the title, then you shouldn't have even done it, because like I'm gonna watch the match because it's gonna be a banger, but I wish that there was a little bit more mystery about who is going to win, because at this point I don't think there's any reason to think that Stephanie has a chance.
Naomi's pregnancy really screwed up things. Yeah, clearly.
Hey, according to Rikishi, it was very selfish. So
it's unbelievable.
I know.
Wyatt Six are the tag team champions, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they are. But anyway, hopefully Stephanie will be around next week for the go home show. Again, I mean, I'm not mad about Io being champion, but I just feel bad. I feel like Stephanie just got really screwed over, and it's not even just because of Naomi's pregnancy. Obviously how they've treated her in the interim, I think is just lame. Like, backstage segments where she's just not there at all. I don't like that. I feel like that's kind of messed up. But anyway, on a lighter note,
This was
AJ
awesome.
Lee made
Highlight
her
of the night.
AJ Lee made her return to Raw after a triumphant return on SmackDown, and I liked AJ Lee when she was around. Like when she was active. I actually was somebody who watched the original NXT. So I watched since the beginning of her career. So I mean I was a fan of hers, obviously, because she was more of the kind of female wrestler that I was into compared to like the Divas era girls. You know, I didn't really have a favorite female wrestler during that era. And so I liked her for that, not enough to like buy a shirt or anything. But it was really cool to see her back, and something that I really am happy about. I can't say that this isn't something that Vince ever did, but it feels like Triple H has kind of made it a part of what he allows people to do, and that is get in the ring and be able to say like whatever they want. You know, like when it's like as monumental of a return like an AJ Lee, I really appreciate that he like was like go out there and speak from your heart, like say whatever you got to say. I mean, I really love that she highlighted things that she's been through, the fact that she brought up her mental health. Shout out to the Chicago crowd for chanting therapy. I thought that was so cool.
Awesome.
That was so cool because like other than the fact that, you know, it's hilarious because it's like they're really saying like therapy, but it's like Chicago is a notorious crowd that is not easy to get over with, right? And it's like AJ Lee was going to walk in.
I mean, let's be real here. It's
no, but what I'm saying is
the
fact that she got them without even trying, that they started chanting therapy, insanity. That just tells you like how beloved you are, because like this is a group of people. A lot of the people in that audience do not give a single fuck about real like therapy and mental health. Like
they might after.
But I thought that was really. Oh, it was not Chicago, Milwaukee. You're correct. My bad. Milwaukee, even okay. Not even Chicago. Crazier than a place in it's crazy. But anyway, thank you, Alex, for correcting me. Totally, it's because we didn't talk about SmackDown, so I'm like mixed up. But I thought that was really cool, and I really liked the response that the crowd gave her, like very uplifting, very supportive. I thought that was cool because wrestling fans can be really shitty when serious things are discussed, and so I thought that was really nice. And I liked this segment. I think Becky and Seth deserve some love too, because I think they are doing some of their best work right now. And that is not to gloss over the significance of AJ Lee returning, but this is a dance, right? So the way that they reacted when AJ returned, incredible. They sold the shit out of AJ coming back, from the way that the Seth was up in the crowd and being like, what the fuck? And Becky acting terrified, everything that Becky was doing, and their back and forth, and you know, her and Seth matching outfits, and then Seth getting involved, and everything is just clicking in this. You know, it kind of felt like one of those like classic WWE things where you're like, oh yeah, there's real life couples, let's put them together, right? But this is working. Like, I'm actually invested in this. This is actually making me want to see more CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, and that is not something that we said a month ago. We were like, we're done with this. We can sit on this for a while. Like, let's revisit this in 6 months. But now it's like, no, okay, I'm intrigued.
No, I want to see both Seth and Punk, Becky and AJ feud for a little bit. Like, this has legs to not just be a tag match at WrestlePalooza. Like, this could be something in Perth. You know, now that you throw the Intercontinental title in the mix and have AJ Lee wearing it, to the point where she even makes a joke like, oh my God, I totally forgot I was wearing it. Like, there's chemistry there between Becky and AJ.
Mhm.
And I mean, already if you add in the all hatred already that Seth and Punk have, like this could be the main story for a while. And I think that's what they're planning on doing till we get to either Survivor Series or the Rumble.
And they just all work so well together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's because individually they're all really good. And
Professional.
that's it.
There's-
Yeah, so good. Like, I know that I'm biased, but I really do feel Becky and Seth are this is some of the best stuff that they've done in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And definitely better than their previous run together. I love that they're like matching each other. I love that Seth or Becky is like almost channeling Seth in her character now. So she's almost like the female version of it. She kind of also made herself an unofficial member of the Vision with what she said last night. So I don't know. I'm really into it, and I'm excited to see, because we know now it's confirmed that they will have their mixed tag at WrestlePalooza. So it'll be fun to see what happens in that match and where that takes the future of this feud, because obviously you assume we're going to explore singles matches from this.
Oh, we have to.
Yeah.
It seems inevitable, honestly.
Yeah. Which is fun. And I did think what I thought was interesting was a lot of people were already talking about more female returns, and people keep bringing up Paige because they have Nikki back, they have AJ back, and people are wanting Paige back. Paige is a free agent.
I would want Paige back. I don't care. I know. I want. That was my first. Right when I got back into being like the adult teen wrestling fan, where it was like a kid. Paige was. I loved her. I thought she was. I mean, gorgeous and obviously, but like in ring, like she just was different from every other woman wrestler. Like it actually felt like she could hang with the guys.
Well, that's what made her and AJ so cool at that time. Because like most of the other girls around them were like the Bella twins. It was like, and the Bellas and those other girls were great for the Divas era, but there's a reason why AJ and Paige got so much love, because they were so different, and they definitely ushered in the women's evolution, where now all of the women look different, and the women are allowed to look like Rhea Ripley, but they can also look like Tiffany Stratton, and they don't all look like Tiffany, which is cool, because
I don't want them all to.
Yeah, but that's not what it used to be, and so I think it would be cool to see her back. I don't know how good she is in the ring anymore. I know that it's kind of questionable, at least in her AEW run it was a little bit questionable, but I feel like if they're gonna do it, then they can do it now. My only concern, of course, is I don't want all of these people returning, taking opportunities away from other girls that need it. Like, we don't need Nikki, AJ, and Paige taking up spaces from like Stephanie or whoever. Like, I want to see those girls get in those spots too. I don't want them pushed to the side because veterans are coming back. Even if it is cool to see them back, we do need to continue in with the next generation of women that are going to run the division. And I don't want them cast aside for other stuff. You know what I mean?
I do. I've heard Paige in interviews. I think she said in CVV that if she were to come back, it would be more of a managerial role. Just with the neck injuries that she's had and the wear and tear on her body already. I'm not expecting Paige to come back and her be pushed to be in the world title picture.
Yeah.
I do see her coming back and having some sort of role, which she absolutely should. Wrestling's in her blood.
Yeah.
And as long as she's doing something on screen, she's going to do a good job at it, especially under the WWE umbrella.
Yeah, I mean, it would be pretty cool if they kept her off until maybe like Rumble.
Yeah.
Because
have her be in the Rumble. The Rumble is this, like, in my eyes, for at least a fan, a wrestler can tell me otherwise, but like the safest match to be in. Because you have to get thrown over the top rope, but like you're not taking crazy bumps.
Yeah.
Like you're not going through tables. You're not getting hit with a steel chair. Like, you're good.
Well, and I feel like that's one of the fairest ways for people to have a return and get like a proper reaction. You know what I mean? It's not like, because like a lot of people when they've talked about AJ Lee coming back, everyone assumed it was going to be a Rumble a moment.
Oh yeah.
You know, because like everybody is looking at who's coming out next, and so that would have been a huge surprise. So that feels like that would be pretty cool, because there's not that many other girls that I would say we can expect to be a return at this upcoming Rumble that haven't been around. Like, we assume that's when Liv Morgan will probably return, but I'm talking more about like somebody like a Paige or an AJ Lee or Nikki Bella. I don't see that many others that would fit in that category right now, other than Paige. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of.
Caitlyn?
Yeah, I don't think people cared enough about her. You know what I mean?
I did.
So we got Asuka versus
You can look, but you can't touch.
Nikki Bella. Because Asuka has an issue with anybody that is talking to her girl Io. So this led to Asuka versus Nikki Bella. Fine match. Nikki taps. And then we get this backstage moment where they run into each other and Asuka's like, ha ha ha, you're a loser. Whatever. And Rhea comes to her rescue to be like, hey, is there a problem? Like, what's going on here? And it looks like we might get Nikki and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors. Now, if you were to tell me like a month ago that was going to be a match, I'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
That's like if I made it in universe mode. Seriously.
Yeah. But I think a lot of things have forced them to change course with some people. Naomi's pregnancy, AJ Lee coming back, whatever's going on with Stephanie. So Liv Morgan's injury. So it feels like they have no real direction right now for Nikki or for Rhea. And they're not going to go a week of WWE Raw without having Rhea Ripley on television. So if they're going to have her, if it's like the easiest way for them to get her on TV is to put her in a tag match with Nikki Bella, go for it. You know what I mean? Like, we've already seen them in that, what was it, the 4-on-4 tag match. So I mean, this could work because obviously Io is dealing with the women's world championship. So I mean, this is interesting enough that I'm not going to be like, what is this?
I'm interested in this just because it's Rhea on the screen, but also like it's adding to. See, I care about it not because of Nikki and Rhea, but I care because it's Asuka Io. Like, it's furthering that along more. Like, I'm so invested in what the hell's going on with Asuka Io that I want to see him fight, and this is how we're gonna get
even
them to fight.
Kairi is hilarious.
Poor Kairi Sane.
She's not even saying anything, but she's so good.
No, she's so good in her mannerisms and the like. Right as she's about to say something, it's like.
It's like Asuka's that mom that has like the eyes in the back of her head. It's like she always knows when Kairi's about to do something, and then she's like cuts her off. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would assume that this wouldn't be something that's long term. You would also assume that the whoever wins the women's world title, Rhea is going to get involved in some way. So I don't imagine that she'll be tag teaming with Nikki or whatever, if that is what's going to happen for very long. But I do think they need to figure out what these women are doing, because when we do the random tag team stuff, it's like fine for now, but like I don't like it when they keep doing that.
It's great for a Saturday night's main event. Yeah. After that,
or WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
I did see Richard say Nikki's getting a lot of hate. I think I don't know, Richard. I know you've watched for a long time, but I don't know how active you have been on social media. It's always been this way with Nikki. A lot of the Divas era women, other than like AJ, basically. Therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah, I think basically everybody outside of AJ, and I'm not saying that AJ didn't get hate online, but I think that she was more unanimously liked because she was so different from the other girls. But like Twitter used to be super toxic, and now in the wrestling community, and now it still is, but it's like with Stan Twitter. And they seem to, there's a lot of female superstar Stan Twitters, and so they'll like come out and say literally anything. Because like I don't like Nikki, but like I've never been a fan of the Bella Twins, and I've never sat up on Twitter being like, F this bitch, like she's this,
Yeah,
she's that, she's
no.
such a hoe,
It's
whatever
just
they
not.
say.
It's just not your. She's not your cup of tea.
No, but I'm not going to sit there and say like horrible stuff about her, you know? And I think obviously people just like to hide behind anonymity. And a lot of people do not view wrestlers as human beings. So they feel like, oh, I can say this about them because like they're just a character on TV, or they're never going to see what I say. And it's like, they do. I will say that I did not like how she handled the Wade Barrett situation. I did not like that. I was not a fan of that at all. What?
Yeah, I no,
Okay.
I
What I didn't like is that
oh,
she spoke about it on her podcast before speaking to him. I did not like that she threw him under the bus, um, and believed her perceptions were her reality. I
yeah,
did not like that as like and I'm gonna mention her age because as a 41-year-old woman, I don't think that you should be doing that kind of shit online when you very easily could have had a conversation with him in person and been like, hey, I feel like you're avoiding me. I didn't, it hurt my feelings, some of the things that you said, whatever, instead of putting it on your podcast and then having to forcing him, because then the Bella Army went after him on all of his social media platforms, saying all of these horrible things about him and
yeah.
forcing him to have to address it. Like, I did not like that.
No,
But
I
again,
didn't.
go ahead.
It was just very like it was petty. I didn't like that. Corey Graves, I think, swept it under the rug pretty well by saying it was a well-deserved vacation, which it very well could be.
That's it. I don't think that it has anything to do with Nikki. He came out and said that he asked for time off, like a while ago.
And especially we have to realize we're in a new era of wrestling, and that new era of wrestling, we're going to have a little bit of a switch up of commentators
Well, yeah,
when
because like
seasonally.
Tessitor was back, and he's
No,
going to be
it's
doing college.
seasonally.
Yeah.
Because he can't travel on Fridays, or
Mhm.
he can't do SmackDown on Fridays because he's traveling for college football.
Yeah.
And you can have your IWC jabronis that are complaining like, well, why? That's so stupid. Well, if they didn't allow it, then we wouldn't have WrestlePalooza on ESPN. So
Mhm.
you have to realize that this is a business at the end of the day, and shit's gonna get all jumbled up. People are gonna be doing shit that they don't normally do. That's what happens in a business. You do your job, and then you do someone else's sometimes, and vice versa. Someone does their job, and then they sometimes do your job. That's just how business works.
And to be fair, I don't really think that Wade said anything wrong. So,
oh no, I'm not gonna say anything about the comments because to me, I didn't think there were any comments to be made. Like
we also have to remember he's a heel commentator. And he
yeah,
was just
guys,
saying he was
wrestling.
well, that's the thing that I got frustrated about with Nikki too, because I'm like, girl, you know the business more than we do, and you're sitting up here crying about it like you're a fan. Like,
Yeah,
know that that the commentators have gimmicks too. But not to mention, he didn't go up there and say Nikki looked like ass. She botched in this match. Like, he didn't say any of that. He was just saying, like, we're in a new era. It's a completely different landscape in the women's division than it was when Nikki was active. This is her first match in 7 years, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't think that he said anything like horrible, but she made it into this big thing. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. But yeah, I think that wasn't setting a good example is all I mean. Like, this is the kind of stuff that we need to keep offline, because Nikki specifically has talked about people, like Richard said, that she's getting a lot of hate online, right? But then when you just discussed this on your podcast, you purposely sent hate to Wade Barrett. You knew how your fans were going to react, and then they went and did it to him. But it's not a problem because he's a man.
Yeah, see, that's the double standard that we live in, Sarah. That's what
wasn't into it. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting to the main event. Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. We finally did not get a match that ended in a DQ or an interference.
Right? It was nice.
Which I think we can applaud them for.
Clapping.
Although it has been ending very similarly, obviously, because Bronson had Braun Breaker there. He got involved. They got involved in beating up LA Knight after Bronson won. That then prompted Jimmy to come out, tried to help LA Knight, got his ass beat. Then Jay comes out and he helps and kind of like equalizes the situation. However, as we said earlier, he super kicked LA Knight to end the show. So it leaves us with questions, okay? What is happening with Division? Because they got taken out. But what is going on with Mr. Jey Uso? I think that is probably the biggest takeaway from this main event.
Jey Uso's feeling things, man. He's feeling things right now. I think he's kind of hating on being, the guy just being left out for dry. How he thinks everyone has his back, but he realized that when you are champion, no one has your back. Everyone's gunning for you. There are no allies, and that's why he was trying to tell Jimmy, like, no, I'm not staying around for LA Knight. He can get his ass kicked. I don't care. And then Jimmy goes out. He didn't go out to save LA Knight. Like, that's what I was when I was first watching. I'm like, why is he coming out to save? Like, I understand Jimmy. No, but I understand Jimmy because Jimmy was like, I'm gonna do it. But I thought Jay left, and I'm like, this is stupid. We're just gonna recycle this, and like, no, I love that he speared him and then hit him with a super kick. No, I think he speared him. He didn't super kick him.
I thought he did. I thought it was
No,
super
he speared him.
Whatever.
Tomato potato.
Yeah.
Tomato potato. Doesn't matter. The point is that he turned on and made a move. And
Jay was confused, or Jimmy was confused.
Jimmy was confused because he's not been there. And when he said, "Oh, you talking a lot like Roman," it's like, yeah, why? Because he was champ. Like, that's what happens when you're champ.
I also wish that we had explored that more. Why are we all of a sudden forgiving Roman Reigns? I know your argument, and I'm not saying that, but like
family,
the breakup of the bloodline was good television, right? And like television. Jimmy and Jay like coming to the realization of just how shitty they were treated by Roman, right? Like, so good. And then they just completely bombed building upon that. And like I get it, like they don't want Roman to necessarily start from square one, but remember one of the stories that we had kind of talked about that would have been really interesting with Roman was him having to like re-earn the trust of his family and like just returning on his own and having to be alone and like having to build himself up again from there. Like, I feel like that was kind of a missed opportunity. And some of it might be, they're like, Roman's too big of a superstar, we can't do anything about it. But also his like limited schedule wouldn't allow for that heavy of a story, I guess. But I feel like that would have been really fascinating, because I feel like it would have shown humility or like a more human side to Roman that they want us to believe is there. Now that he's not the tribal chief and doesn't have the bloodline with him, like I feel like that would have been a really good way to do that, and they didn't do it. And instead it's like, oh yeah, Jimmy and Jay are like cool with him and whatever, and it's like,
it just sped up the process. And
I don't know,
that's and this is all right, this is thought I've had because they're on Netflix now. All of those things that you say, I want to dive into more, I want to dive into that story more, they could do that type of shit with Netflix. It's just a different thing. Like, if they're not getting on television, all right, then like make, kind of episodes of a reality show of some sorts. Like, build that. Like, you don't have to do it 24/7 like a legit reality show, but just film a couple scenes, for a few hours, put it together, and then that just builds up. Like, it's all the stuff that you want to see in on screen, on Raw, SmackDown, NXT, whatever, but there's not enough time to do it. Like that's why you have Netflix to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we haven't heard more about like exclusive specials and whatever that are like Netflix only. Like I know it's still early, but I mean this started in January. You know, we're like 8 months, 9 months into it, and I'm kind of surprised we haven't gotten more out of them being on Netflix. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
I
we
guess
haven't
I was
got-
kind of expecting
It
like
is also the first 2 years. This will be the second year.
it started in January.
Yeah, so we're only been a year is what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
we're only
not
a year
even.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
No,
what I'm
but
saying. Like we're
I guess I
only
was just expecting it like because of how much money was spent and they were like making this big deal. I was kind of expecting it to be like a ton of content that we were going to get, kind of like the WWE network, like we were going to get these like exclusive shows or whatever, that they were going to really dive deep into Netflix only WWE programming, you know, and they haven't done that yet. So I guess I'm interested to see if they end up doing that, because it feels inevitable that they're going to want to get SmackDown off of USA Network, and so maybe that's when they do it. I don't know, but I think it's not for like another 2 years. So I don't know, but that would be really smart. It would be so good if we could all watch SmackDown live together. That would be incredible. You know,
Yeah,
but
it would be
at
nice
this
to all
point we
watch.
can't. So but anyway, that was Raw.
It was Raw.
It was.
It was a fun show. I had a lot.
You can look, but you can't touch.
That's gonna be that was great addition, Sarah.
Thank you.
Great addition.
Yes.
You can look, but you can't touch.
So good. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So the same place that I got this shirt, because no one has said anything about my new shirt from TikTok Shop.
To be fair for the peeps, I don't know if they could see it.
Okay,
but
well,
now show it off. You have the time.
I mean, yeah. I mean, hold on.
We're wrapped up. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. All right. Okay. They have also the same store on TikTok Shop has one of Cena with the NWO shirt on, and then the NWO spray painted heavyweight title.
God.
And
what
I was
a reality.
like, I might need that. I might need that.
I want that. SmackDown is.
And yes, SmackDown is already on Netflix if you don't live in the US.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
we do. So that is
I
how
live
it
in the
is.
US.
We live in the US. So that's all we got. We'll be back on Thursday for the Super Show. And then, yeah, that's why we'll be back on Thursday for the Super Show. Hit subscribe and the bell notification to know every time that we go live and post new content. Follow our TikTok over No Nights Off Show on TikTok. I don't know what the number. It's in the thousands at this point. So go follow that, subscribe, and then follow us on all our personal social media platforms. Sarah only with Twitter, and it's at smarshxo, and then Patty Pitts with D's, not T's, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well. So yeah, that's all we got. Thank you for tuning in. God bless. Remember that you can do it. All you got to do is try. We'll see you Thursday.